This is pure theory and speculation, but I want y'all to walk with me on this. George Floyd, rest in peace to the man. He also went by the name of Floyd the landlord. He did pornography. He was a porn star. Now, if I'm mistaken from the information that I've heard that cited him as a porn star, including seeing some clips of him in a scene. I didn't see anything explicit, but I've seen some clips of him in a scene and all that. My apologies ahead of time. I'm just going on the information that I found. And even by citing him as a porn star, in no way am I trying to say that in a disrespectful means. I'm just saying it like, that was one of his professions, right? Which will parlay into another one of his professions and a connection, right? He also did, I believe, security at a club or a bar or something that was right nearby the place where he got murdered at. The police officer that murdered him, I don't even give a heck what his name is. I was gonna look it up, but off the top, I think his name is David Chauvin. Whether I'm pronouncing it right, he ain't worth the time in the video of me figuring out he's a piece of shit. So David Chauvin, you know what I'm saying? Bitch ass name. When I do the video, I'll make sure I spell it right though for the sake of that. But the bitch ass cop that killed him also worked at this bar, this strip club, restaurant, whatever place that they did security for. I believe they said George Floyd worked the inside, David Chauvin worked the outside. I think George Floyd worked as security, David Chauvin worked as an off-duty police officer. But they worked at the same time. So there's a connection. I believe they said they worked at the same time for roughly a year or for at least a year. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, if I say anything that's a little out or wrong, cite me in the comments. Correct me, please. But I believe they worked together for a year, so they definitely rubbed shoulders. They definitely knew each other to some capacity, right? When you look at the video of this murderous cop that killed him and, his three cohorts that also murdered this man just by virtue of doing nothing and doing something else that I'm going to say in a minute, right? When you look at the video, the whole thing looks like a setup from when they pulled up on him, from the angles, the police car blocking some visuals from certain cameras, because police, they're gonna know where the cameras are, especially if you work at a place that do security right in that area. You know where the cameras are, you know where everything is. You know what I'm saying? There's new video that surfaced that shows like an open police door, and you see some crazy footwork going on that suggests that they were trying to give George Floyd that business physically. A whole lot of suspect crap going on. Now, this is where just my theory comes from. Is it possible that, well, first off, let me just say I have a strong inclination based on some of the things that I said and just based off an instinct that says that this killing of George Floyd by David Chauvin was personal. I think it was personal. It doesn't take anything away from the unjust killing of a white officer killing a black man. Because, peep it, let's say the shit was personal. David Chauvin would have known the complexion of this country, and he would have known, even if he meant to kill him for some personal reason, that he has the space and opportunity to do it by way of how the United States gets down and allows white people to murder black people. So let me just get that out the way. This being a personal situation, it detracts nothing from the social cause and the nature, the social injustice nature of what happened. Personal or otherwise, he knew that he would have that space to do that. You follow me? But let me just get straight down to it. George Floyd, tall, strapping dude, porn star, got chicks and all that type of other crap like that. Is David Chauvin shorty or his wife? Did Floyd give her the business? You know what I'm saying? The pipe work or something like that? It's not totally far-fetched. You know what I'm saying? Because I do believe it's something personal about this situation with all the things tied in together. I think at the very least, as Francis Cress Welsing said, there was some jealousy. There was some jealousy over sexual prowess and sexual energy. And not to disrespect all white men, but it's already common. It's like an unheard thing that we all know, that a lot of white men, they feel the pressure You know, they feel that energy of a black man that just got it in a way that a lot of white men just don't have it. It's a certain sexual magnetism, a certain charisma, you know, and luring the opposite sex, that a black man just naturally has the swagger and the natural charisma and charm that I won't even say all white men, that certain white men feel intimidated by. And I do believe that that's a strong component in and of itself of why white officers kill black people. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's going deep into a whole other thing. And in this situation, we see this man, you know, did pornography. So he made money off of his sexual energy or whatever. While the David Chauvin, he probably a scrub or something like that. You know what I mean? Now back to the other murderous officers, the other three. In particular, the Asian murderer, right? Now you have those other officers that stood there while David Chauvin killed George Floyd, murdered him rather, right? What's up, Cat? You also have the Asian officer. I don't give a fuck to remember what his name is either. You know who I'm talking about. The person that was filming the murder. What did the Asian officer do? He was standing as a barrier. So let's say if someone were compelled to just rush over and put a foot to David Chauvin's face and just punt them off of George Floyd or something, you have this man that's protecting, that's guarding the murder, the Asian dude, right? Now, what else ties into the whole personal nature of this kill is, as I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, but what I've read, the Asian murderer, now how's it work? Yeah, the Asian murderer, I think, was married to David Chauvin, the direct murderer, to his sister or something like that. Or somebody was a brother-in-law. See, I should have got straight, the direct relation. I forget totally. But there was a direct family, I think due to marriage, there was a family relation between David Chauvin and the Asian officer. Between those two murderers, there was a direct connection. I think the Asian one was married to the other one's sister or something like that. Again, in the comments, fill me in, break that shit down to the way that it was, you know? So you have a personal murder going on, and out of all the other three officers, it's the one that has an immediate family connection that's guarding the murder from going on. So if whoever's filming it, or if anybody else in that, you know, peripheral view wants to just run over and punt dude in the face, you got that guy guarding it. Thus, that guy also murdering George Floyd. So I guess we'll have to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? As the charges and more information comes out, but I have a strong inclination to believe that this thing was personal. Logic almost boxes it into being a personal situation. And I also have a strong inclination that the personal situation is in relation to George Floyd, you know, getting biz on some type of level, some type of sexual situation going on that had David Chauvin heated. That's just what I think. We'll see what it is.